Hey, what's going on? This is gonna be me, kind of dubbing over the uh, the video. I wanted to. I put up the first one, and the audio is just atrocious. So I'm gonna make a little commentary uh, as I go ahead and watch the video through. Um, Up ahead, right there, you can see the windmills. Um, the windmills are great for the island because, as I was mentioning, and if I can remember, as I was mentioning, Terceira Island gets 3 times as much wind as that of any part of the mainland of Portugal. And I headed up the main road to this place called Serra do Cume, and it'll look like I'm heading back that way, but we'll soon turn around on the other side, and it's pretty cool. As you can tell, they use this high point for a lot of communications, radios and stuff for the island. And up here, I'm gonna stop because there's just a sweet view of the island and also the base. Um, Off to the right of the video, you see I'm trying to kind of pointing down towards the city of Praia. In the center of the frame, well, what was the center of the frame? In the center, you'll see kind of a big conglomerate of buildings. Wow, what was I doing? Oh, I was making sure it was recording. But yeah, you'll see a big section of buildings, kind of white and orange. That's the city of Praia. And then there's a Praia Bay. As you can see, the bay opens up, and off to the right is the port area. And off towards the left hand side of the port is where the military stuff comes in. And then I start pointing at what's the Air Force base, and it's hard telling, but there's a long runway, and that's the runway for the island as well as the military. And then the very edge piece of land in the middle of the shot is the base. So, and then you'll see the village of lodges too. I wish this thing shot better detail at a distance, but if you look at a map and I were to show you from where I was, you'd get a good idea. But let me start off again here in a few seconds. As I keep yammering on about. Praia here, like you're seeing, is the second largest city for the island. So there's quite a bit to do there. I'll make a couple videos going through there, all the different sites to see. Let's head back down. Sorry, I have a cold. Probably because I haven't been riding with warm enough stuff and riding at night too. So. And of course, I stopped right before the viewing spot where I probably could have had a better, more open view, but. So, and then that's the gate we came through in the last video. And then I'm going to turn to the right here, like a hard right, and then off into the grass. And then back onto the road. And this is I guess the backside road up to the Serra do Cume. We're gonna pass by all of the windmills here in a few minutes, and these things are huge. They don't look that big until you get up close to them. There's some cows. They have cows in the most random places. Like this is almost the highest point. This is the highest point for this part of the island, and they literally get the cows all the way up here. So. I think at this point where I'm about 100 yards out from the windmill, the nearest one on the left, and yeah, they're pretty impressive. I asked someone how much energy from this island is naturally produced from renewable sources, and they said only about 40% of the island is produced using renewable energy. Um, the windmills are a big producer, and there's also a big effort to get geothermal energy working on the island. There is an island that's one of the only few places in the world that's 100% geo or 100% independent and uses 100% renewable sources. And the island is Graciosa, and I'll make a video where you can see off into the distance across Graciosa. But yeah, one of them wasn't working. It was, yeah, the one off to the right. You see the blades are locked, and it's pretty impressive to see them stopped. They were moving kind of slow today, but even there wasn't a noticeable breeze. But I mean, those big blades catch a lot of wind. If you could listen to the audio of this, my gear shifting was just absolutely atrocious because I haven't really gotten used to using my engine to brake. I like riding the brakes, and I'm trying to break myself of that habit because I know it can be really rough on your rotors and just wear away brakes. So, and I guess the one thing I hate listening to is my engine winding out at 3 or 4,000 RPMs as I head down a hill. But I suppose it's better on the engine than on my brakes because brakes get expensive. So I'm sure that I'll probably be pacing some rotors here in the next 6 months or so. The way I like to ride on them. But yeah, and a lot of this is. I asked someone when I was out on a tour, and a lot of the grazing land is actually public land, although a lot of it's private as well. I didn't really kind of get a good idea, but they said that the government kind of tries to encourage farmers to use land that's near, that's or to they encourage farmers to work together to graze on land that is close to one another. The thing is what he told me is he said a lot of times farmers have land that goes back into family lineage, and they have an emotional and sentimental connection to the land. So a lot of times they'll herd the cows across across miles and miles of land just to get to the particular pastures and fields they want to graze them in. But yeah, the one thing you'd probably hear me cursing a couple of times is me talking to myself about not braking in the corners. That's how I laid down my bike the first time, and I'm really not into doing it again. But right here, I was braking in the corner, and it's not smart. So, but yeah, so it's kind of neat to see the Holstein cows, because being from Illinois and close to Wisconsin, there's a lot of Holstein cows back in those parts. So right here, I was trying to And the thing that makes me nervous, my bike, the KLR is such a tall motorcycle, um, that, you know, it's not the curve that makes me nervous, but it's the uneven ground that makes me nervous because, I know that the way that the ground can move under you when you're taking a corner, hit a patch of something wrong, and then you're just gonna slide out right from underneath you. And so that's kind of the one thing I'm trying to get used to here and just in general. Most of the riding I did back in the States was all asphalt, and I did some off-road stuff, but um, I like I like taking roads like this where there's some gravel, some asphalt, rock, and the road's less traveled, I guess. I'm not really super huge into mudding it up, but there's one road that I hit up that I'll hit up again and show you guys, and it's quite the adventure. So, and a lot of times you have to be careful on this island too, because you run into what the other motorcyclists that I've talked with call brown ice, and because they actually graze and not graze, but they herd the deer. Wow, they herd the cows on public roads. They get manure on the roads, so you have to be really mindful of that. And even if it's dry after a rain, it can be just like mud on the road. So, but yeah, this is the last stretch coming down to the main road, and I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing an alternate view coming down. Yeah, there you are. There's some of that brown ice right there. It's dried, but so that is the ride down from Serra do Cume, and thanks for watching.